Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Saratoga Racecourse here on Friday. It's 25th of August, 2023. Gonna look at the stakes races on the program from the spa, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5 for more selections for race courses around the world. And I mean around the world. Remember to go check out my Travers preview tomorrow here from Saratoga. Problem is, again, the weather has shown up at Saratoga Thursday. Later in the card, the rain started to come and was pouring by the last race. They had to speed up the post parade, go straight to the gate, and the rain's going to basically let on from Thursday night into Friday, and I believe there's like a half inch of rain in the forecast. I think that they'll probably let the third race run today on turf, and maybe that mile 3/8 race on turf. I could see them running two turf races, one on each course, but the other turf races I think they're going to be taken off. So hence the reason no full card selections for me today, because this weather has been very inconsistent, as we all know. But we're going to look at the stakes races here on Travers Eve, races 3 and 9. So let's get to it right now. Third race from Saratoga, it's the Smart and Fancy Stakes. It's going for a $150,000 purse race. Fillies, mares, 4-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 8 horses entered. 7 and 8 are both MTOs. 6 will head to the Mellon Turf Course. The distance of ground of 1,100 meters or 5.5 furlongs on the Mellon Turf Course. Rails are out 12 feet. I'm going to take the shot with the 2-horse Bubble Rock. Let's go 2-4-5-1 in the superfecta. 2-4-5-1 super. Top selection 2-horse Bubble Rock. 4-year-old filly by More Than Ready. Brad Cox trains. Joel Rosario gets the leg up. The horse's most recent outing came 22nd of July at Saratoga. 5.5 furlongs and a good melon in the Grade 3 Caress Stakes. He finished third by 2.5 lengths that day, and he was on the front end that day. He kind of hit the wall late. He just couldn't keep up. He got beat by the winner, who is Rose for Deborah, who's running back this one today, who just had a great tracking trip. This horse just kind of got overtaken. First start up here, she made neither race of the season. Prior to that, she ran terrifically in the Intercontinental at Belmont on the Inner Turf Course. 6 furlongs or 9th of June. She finished second by a nose. She was on the front end. She got caught at the wire, but she ran her heart out that day behind Poppy Flower. And then the license fee at Belmont on the Widener going 6. She won by a half length, and that day she changed the tactics. She came from a little bit behind. She was a little bit wide, a little bit bumpy that day, but she got the job done. A very good, strong run for her there. And then they tried her routing before that at Keeneland. A mile in an allowance race, 140,000. She finished second by a neck. She just couldn't stay the mile trip. Every time she's won going a mile, she's had everything her own way. She went 50 flat to the 3/4 in the Miss Revere last year, which she won. But I prefer her going back to 5.5. Probably even 6 furlongs at Aqueduct would suit her well. But coming here today, she should get a good trip and she should win. She's a likely winner. I think the 4-horse Poppy Flower could also get a good trip and win. 2 back in the Caress, she just never really got going that day. It was a little bit wide, just a little lackadaisical. Prior to that, she closed up for nowhere to beat Bubble Rock in the Intercontinental, and then had a good place behind her in the license fee, where she goes up from nowhere. She probably need the race there, but she's been getting better with every single race. Belmont's been having an incredible meeting. Watch out for this horse on the ticket also in this early pick 4. But to recount my selection for the third from Saratoga, it's Smart and Fancy. Going to take the 2-horse Bubble Rock. Give kudos to the 4-horse Poppy Flower. 2-4-5-1 super. Let's go 2-4 in your multi-race. Let's head over to race number 9 from Saratoga. Before I get to race number 9, because I just scrolled past the page, this 6th race today from Saratoga, it's a very good 2-year-old race. You're probably going to see, this is that 2-year-old race that you see at the end of August at Saratoga, where you're going to see horses come out of that run and win Kentucky Derby prep races next year and go on to have multi-million-dollar careers, and some good stallions might come out of this 6th race. So if there's a race that you could watch, you have to watch this weekend from Saratoga. This 6th race, it's probably not on a lot of people's radars, but you should make it on your radar, because these horses that are coming out of that 6th race are going to be very nice horses. I think the Brown horse looks very nice with the pedigree. The Mott horse, Bilo, and even the Shug horse and the Pletcher horse. The Pletcher horse, I think, probably is going to win 2-1 ship price, but he looks like he might be a real deal horse. And like I said, you might see horses end up in the starting gate on the first Saturday of May at Churchill, and maybe even next year's Travers. You never know. But let's get to the 9th race. A race finally back to Travers Eve after a long hiatus. The 9th race, it's the Personal Ensign Stakes. It's a Grade 1 event going for a $500,000 purse race. Fillies, mares, 4-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 6 horses, but it's a good group of 6 horses going 1,800 meters or 1 lap around the Saratoga main track, which is a mile and 1/8 in circumference. And before I before I go any further, that wasn't proper English, was it? But before I go any further, I think they should bring this race back to a mile and a quarter. They haven't run it at that trip in about 10 years or so, but there's no mile and a quarter races now for older horses, because I think the Delaware Handicap's now only a mile 3/16. So they should just make this a mile and a quarter again. It would be kind of cool. But with that being said, still a good race. I love the one horse Idiomatic in the spot. I think she's been on the improve and she's sitting on that good run. I'm gonna go 1-5-6-3 in the superfecta. 1-5-6-3 super. Top selection to one horse Idiomatic. 4-year-old Philip Curlin. Brad Cox trains one for Judmont. Florent Giroux gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came in that Delaware Handicap at Delaware, mile 3/16 on the 8th of July, and she won by a head that day, and she stalked. She, after not the best beginnings, was a little bit wide, but when she got there, she grinded it out to the wire. That was a very good, strong, gritty performance, coming home with the 100 buyer. She is stepping up in class here today, but from the rail, she has some forwardly pace. The front-end horses have been doing very well on this track. I think she could go a long way and win here today. Two back in the Shawnee at Churchill, mile 16, 3rd of June. She won by 2.5 lengths that day, and she was on the front end setting some good fractions, and then she just went away with it, quickened up nicely. Another very good run with a career best 102 buyer, and then a Belmont 1 mile in the grade 2 Ruffian. She finished second by 4.5 lengths that day. Past the Champagne really had a great run. This horse had to lead for a split portion of the race at the top of the lane, but then just kind of got overtaken by Pastor Champagne, who just freaked that day. And then Latonia at Turfway, mile 16th in late March. She won by 2 lengths and stalked a slow pace and went away with it late. With every single challenge, she's been going up a lot. I think the mile and 8 should suit her well. I think she's a very likely winner. You can't throw out the 5-horse Nest here for Tom Pletcher and Ira Ortiz Jr. Won the Shuvi last time out off the bench here, going a mile and 8 by 2.25 lengths, and she destroyed Clairiere that day. That was only 94 by. It wasn't the fastest race she's ever run, but it was a good return to the races. She should definitely improve second off. She'll see a strong pace to close up to, and I think she can run a good race. I thought you saw a tired horse in the Breeders' Cup Distaff last year, where she finished 4th by 3.25 lengths that day. She had a good move at the top of the lane, but then she just couldn't get over the good turn of foot. I thought the older horses just got the jump on her. And then the Beldame at Aqueduct going a mile and 8. First time older horses. She was much the best on paper. 5 cents to the dollar. She won by 9.75 lengths and basically won for fun. And we all remember her Alabama run last year, where she didn't get out of the gate so clearly, but she stalked. She got to the front end and went away with it. A very good, strong run. She likes this course. She's 3 for 3 on it. Coming here, she's also a very likely winner. Even the 6-horse Clairiere, her last race was a little bit disappointing, but I think she'll be a little bit more into it early on, more into it today. She's coming this race off the workout patterns a little bit better. Again, 5-2, it wouldn't surprise me if she wins also. So I know these are 3 short-priced horses, but they're 3 very likely winners of this race, and this very wide-open personal Ensign. But to recap my selection for the night from Saratoga now, it's the grade 1 personal Ensign. Gonna take the 1-horse Idiomatic. Give kudos to the 5-horse Nest and the 6-horse Clairiere. Where are we? 1-5-6-3 super, 156 in your multi-race. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5 for more selections for race courses around the world. Good luck, everybody.